Hey guys. So today I'm going to be doing my March wrap up. So March was really crazy and fun. I went on a trip to Florida. That was so relaxing and amazing. But March was pretty chill. I read 1, 2, 3, 5, 15, 16. I read 18 books this month, which is incredible. I'm so proud of myself. So I first want to go over the books that I don't have in physical copy because it's just easier. So one of the first books I read this month was You're Mine Tonight by Lucia Franco. This was so good. So this is a novella, and our heroine, she is an up and rising actress. And she meets this guy at this club and has a really great night with him. And it's super steamy and really, really good. And then the next day she kind of leaves him and she goes to audition for this movie that's coming out, and she has this great chemistry with this guy on screen, and they're like, we want you for the part. And so she also has a night with him, and then she finds out that they are brothers, and it's crazy and it's so good. And so it's going to be a full-length novel, and I just loved it so much. I really enjoy Lucia Franco's writing, and her smut is just amazing. So definitely go check this out. It's free. Like, you can read it on your Kindle for free. I think it's on, if you go check her bio on Instagram, you can find a free copy of it, but it was so good. And then I read Thin Ice by Cassie Mint. And this was so good, and it is a, ice skater romance, between our heroine and, her coach, and it's really, really good. It was short, sweet. I gave it 5 stars though, because it was so good. Oh, I gave Your Mine Tonight 5 stars, I think, also, but Thin Ice, which is so good, especially with all the Olympics happening. I just loved it so much, so definitely go read that. It's on KU. It was so good. And then because I love that one so much, I read The Guard by Cassie Mint, and this is a campus bodyguard romance. And so our heroine, she's like walking home from a party, and like the security guard on the campus sees her and like helps her get back to her like apartment or dorm or whatever, because she like broke her heel, and they kind of have this like instant connection, and so she keeps seeing him, and they're slowly starting to fall in love, but also like it's like more sped up because it's a novella. But I really enjoyed it. Give this one 4 stars. I really liked it. He was a big hero, so I really liked that, and I just really felt his insecurities about his weight, and like, why would she want to be with this old gross man that you know, is like a security guard. And she's like, no, but I really like you. And so it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Okay, and then I read Big Boss, also by Cassie Mint. I think I gave this one 4 stars. I honestly can't remember it. I think she maybe works for him or something like that. I don't know. I literally don't remember it at all. I definitely read the other 2 Cassie Mints. I think I just didn't enjoy this one as much. Maybe it's like, I can't remember. Okay, and then I read Merciless. Well, this was Adina because the writing was just really bad. And I really want to love Willow Winters. This is kind of my first book into her writing, and it just wasn't good. It was really bad writing. But the story is so intriguing. It's like a Beauty and the Beast story, and like the blurb at the beginning is so good, but I just couldn't get into her writing, which is so sad. But maybe I'll pick up some other books by her, so I'm really excited to pick up some other books from her. Okay, so those were all the books I didn't have in physical copy. So we're gonna start off with some historicals I read this month. So to gear up for Bridgerton, I read like a couple of books in this series, but then I didn't finish it, like the rest of the series, which is so dumb of me, but I was like rushing. So I read An Offer from a Gentleman, And this is Benedict's story, and I really, really liked it. So I give this one 5 stars. 5 stars. And so Benedict is a Bridgerton, obviously, and our heroine Sophie, it is a retelling of like Cinderella, and so she lives in this very bad household, and her stepsisters and stepmom are terrible to her, obviously. And so she goes to the ball and meets Benedict and never sees him again. And then 2 years later, she's a servant and she looks a lot different. She had to like cut her hair to be able to survive, and kind of turn into this different person. And so he doesn't recognize her at first, and it's really cute. And so they get kind of like stuck in Snowdon in his cottage, and start kind of having feelings for each other, but he is also like so stuck on the woman that he met that night. He doesn't know her name, and it was so good. And then she becomes like a servant in the household of the Bridgertons, because he really like likes her and wants her to be be with him, but the only way she could be with him is be his mistress. And she's like, no, I don't want to be your mistress. If we're gonna be together, I want to be your wife. And he's like, you can't be because you're a servant. But what got kind of annoying is I didn't understand why she just couldn't tell him that she was the Earl's daughter, because that got kind of annoying. Like, if you just tell him, then you can be together. So, I don't know. But I still really loved it, and their chemistry was amazing. And I really love Benedict. So, this is definitely one of my favorites of the series. I love Benedict. He's so cute. And then I read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, Colin and Penelope's story. I really enjoyed this one. I give it 4 stars, though. Colin was kind of annoying, and I couldn't really connect to him as much as I wanted to. Like, I still really enjoyed his romance with him, but he's this like rich, spoiled kid, and he's like, I don't have a purpose in my life. I've just been traveling and trying to find it. And so Penelope really helps him find his purpose, and they like slowly fall in love, and he's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen her like this, and like she lost weight and stuff. And it was good. I really did enjoy it, but I was kind of annoyed to Colin. But I love Penelope, and so she's one of my favorites. But I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. But still really good, 4 stars. And then I read To Sir Philip with Love, Eloise's story. And this was just so good. I loved Eloise in this book. And we really got to see her brothers be super overprotective of her. So Eloise is having this penmanship relationship with Sir Philip. And he asks her to marry her through one of the letters, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go check out the stitch. And so she like stows away in the night to go visit him and stay with him and see if she can marry him. And it's so hilarious. Like, the Bridgertons are like freaking out. They're like, we don't know where Eloise is. And so she is there with Sir Philip, and he has 2 children. They're twins. And he really doesn't know how to parent, because he just feels so bad for them because of what happened to their mother, and he just doesn't know how to be a parent, and Eloise really helps him with that, and I just loved it so much. And it was a little hate to love. Like, I really liked that and I liked how she didn't just like fall in love with him right off the bat. Like, when she met him, she really took her time getting to know him, which I really liked. So 5 stars, love it. I need to finish the Bridgertons so badly, but I'm really excited to finish it. And then I read Devlin Winter. Read this in the beginning of the month. So good. This is about Sebastian and Evie. And Sebastian was kind of the bad guy in the book before. He was not a great character because he kidnaps Lily in that book. But she makes a deal with Sebastian, like, I need you to marry me because my cousin is trying to marry me off to this, like, gross guy, I think. And so it's a marriage of convenience, but they fall in love in the process, and her dad is, like, Jenner, the guy that is Derek Craven's rival in Derek's book. And it was really interesting, and I loved seeing how she is kind of this, like, she's a wallflower, but she's quiet, but she really loved the club and like helping people, and I loved her and Sebastian's romance so much. It was so good, and I actually have the last book on my TBR for this month because I just really love this series so much, so I really want to finish it up. And then I also read Always Been You by QB Tyler. I read this for a reading vlog, so definitely go check that out. I'll link it down below to hear more of my thoughts. But I really enjoyed this one. It's a stepbrother, stepsister romance. I give it 4 stars. Really good, super spicy. I read Falls Boys by Penelope Douglas. Of course I read this because I love Penelope Douglas. I also read this for the new releases reading vlog. I love this. 5 stars. It's like good girl. I mean, no, I keep saying that. It's bad girl, good guy. And it is the spin-off series of the Fall Lane book series with like Bully and all those good books. So this was incredible. Really enjoyed it. Definitely go watch that video to see more of my thoughts. And then I read The Savage also for that video. I love this. I give this one 4 stars though. And this is a mafia / Bratva romance with 2 alpha hero and heroines. And it's really good. I really enjoyed this one. Okay, so this next book I read because of Outlander coming out. I really wanted to read just read the first Outlander book because I hadn't read it yet. And so I read this. Of course, I loved it. 5 stars, so incredible. Diana Gabaldon can keep you interested in anything, seriously. Like, I was so invested in the story, even though I know how the story goes from watching the show. I just loved it so much. It was so incredible, and I love this edition. This is like the 25th anniversary edition, and it's so pretty. But I just loved it. I love Jamie. I feel so much more connected to his character, and I just love Claire and Jamie together, and I'm so excited to read the next book because they go through some stuff in that book, and I'm so excited to see how they handle it as in the books instead of just on screen. So I'm really excited to read Dragonfly in the Ember. And then this was definitely a Sophie Lark month. So I read Stolen Air. This was towards the beginning of the month. I just love this book so freaking much. It's a Beauty and the Beast kind of retelling. So our hero has a really traumatic past, especially because of what happened to his sister, and it flash forwards to the present, and he sees his like rival's daughter, and it's like, I'm gonna kidnap her. And so he kidnaps her and brings her back to his like house / compound, and she's a ballerina, and they fall in love. It's super dark and just amazing. I loved it so much. I listened to it on audio, and I highly recommend the audiobook because I loved the voiceover for our hero because it was so good. I give this 5 stars. It was incredible. Probably one of my favorites in the Brutal Birthright series. I just loved it so much. And then I read Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. It's a friends to lovers romance, small town, and so our heroine, she really likes the hero, and because they've been texting ever since the first book, when her sister kind of found her love, and so she is working on this new movie, and because she does like helps, I think she's assistant, but she wants to do like the music for the movie, like picking out what songs would go best with what scenes. And so they have to find a new place to do the movie, and so she recommends the small town, the fishing town, for the movie, and they're like, yes, let's do that. And so they go back to the town, and she sees the hero, and so she has to stay with him because she has nowhere else to stay for like other reasons. And it was just so cute. I really loved these characters. I definitely like this one more than the first book. It was so cute, and I love Hannah and Fox's relationship. It was just so good. 4 stars. Definitely loved it. But I just feel like sometimes with traditionally published book, there's sometimes something missing, and I definitely felt that a little bit in this book. So that's why it's 4 stars. But it's a really high 4 stars. I really love this. Okay, and then I had to read The Spy before I read The Savage, so I read The Spy this month. 5 stars, OMG. So many things because of the series were tied up, like the loose ends of this series. And so it's about our character Nyx and Ares. This is Ares' book. But Ares has some secrets, and a lot of things get tied up, and we find out some stuff, and it was really good. I can't really say anything because it'll spoil a lot for the series, but just go read it. The Heir is the first book. It's incredible. So much action happened in this book, and I just loved it. It was so freaking good. Sophie Lark is a master at writing. I love all of her books. I joined her Patreon, and I'm so excited for her content on there. She's writing this like specific Patreon book called Kitten, and it's about this woman who has to be, it's like BDSM kind of, but like very dark, and she has no money, and so she has to get money, she is pretending to act like a cat for this guy, and that's how she gets her money. She's like a sugar baby, but for this guy, and that's all I really know, and I'm super intrigued, so I'm so excited to continue on reading with it. And then I read Lessons in Corruption this month for the Fall Men read-along, and it was so good. 5 stars, of course. I just love this book so much. King and Cress hold a special place in my heart. This is a student teacher romance, age gap. The heroine is the older one. It's a motorcycle. It was so good. Definitely. And I also annotated this one, which I really liked. Here, let me see if I can find a cute quote. But I just love this book so much. I don't know. I love The Fall of Men. So definitely go check it out if you haven't. This is the first book. Okay, and then the last book I want to share with you is I read The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I'm going to give this one 4 stars. I definitely liked it more. This is probably one of my favorites in the series besides the first one, because the other couple of books in the series were not great. I felt like the plot was very slow and just not moving, but this one picked up a lot. I can't really say anything though because it's kind of spoilery, but like Castiel gets kidnapped, and like Poppy has to figure out how to get him back, and there was a lot of like action with that. And it was really good. I give it 4 stars though. There's still a lot of info dumping. I definitely think you should read A Shadow in the Ember before reading this one, because there's a lot of characters from that book that come to play towards the end and like the ending, and if you don't read that, I feel like it won't be as an epic as an ending for this book. So definitely I would read that before reading The War of Two Queens, but I really enjoyed it. And I was kind of annoyed with all the backlash. I understand why some people might not want that certain thing to happen in the book, but she was like foreshadowing it for like all of the books in the series. So I think that's kind of dumb to be weird about it, because like you knew it was coming. So I don't know, there's just been so much drama, and especially in the book community, especially on TikTok and stuff. I don't want to like get into a bunch of stuff, but it's just kind of annoying. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely down below, let me know your favorites of this month. I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.